I think it's disappointment more than anything else, because I don't know these people, so they can't hurt me. You can like a film, you can dislike a film, critique a film, criticize it. But the moment you shame a film, that's the problem. I'm not going to take any shame, because there's nothing incorrect with what we are trying to say in the film. And people are uncomfortable by it because it's a woman's story. औरतों की problem real होती ही नहीं है. You know, generation through generation we've tried to change that idea. But my problems are real, because my entire life I've been told that a man will make me feel complete. You know, a lot of my self-worth is attached to having a partner. That we had a film, Oh My God 2, which speaks about sex education. Honestly, it's one of my most favorite films. In that film also, that young adult is masturbating. But over there, people were like, oh yes, this needs to be spoken about, accepted. I'm with you in that fight.
Yes.
But when you show a woman do the same thing, why has it suddenly become against our culture? You know, there is no physicality that is shown. It's a thought. You're so against the thought.
Yeah.
And that upset me. अगर शुभमंगल सावधान में मेरी एक लड़की का कैरेक्टर अकेले होता, people would not have accepted it.
Then
I mean, see, that's the hypocrisy of it all, right? That we have, as you said, objectified women through generations, right? We have seen them called names, and you know, their body parts have been called like fruits and vegetables and I don't know what not. I mean, we've been accepting of that.
8 months of manifestation has resulted in this, and let me just say 8 months of manifestation just physically, but before that mentally manifestation has been for the last 4.5 years ever since I joined the industry. How do I introduce my next guest? Let me just say कि बदलाव तहलका लाता है, and वो तहलका लेकर आई हैं, and with her recent film she has created an uproar across the world, and deservedly so. There are good and bad, but I must say she has done a fantabulous job, and she has been doing it for all of her career, and this one is going to be a landmark. I'm sure of that, and I'm quite excited as I'm joined by the amazing Bhumi Pednekar.
So Bhumi, such a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
We are twinning also.
we are twinning.
But this is my fashionable debut, by the way.
I love it. I love it. And I know your friend Nayan has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, he has. But let me just say, as I said in my intro, कि बदलाव तहलका लाता है, and you have actually brought that, because a lot of voices have come out, but while there have been some words that could hurt, but does that also come with a little sense of pride that you have brought this conversation forward?
Absolutely. Look, if we are in conversation, this means we've made a difference. And that's what we wanted to do with the film. You know, we were very clear. Look, something like this has never happened before. A film like this that speaks about female pleasure in a narrative like the one that we've chosen in India hasn't happened. You know, so this is very unprecedented. We didn't know what are we getting into. You know, we didn't have an example. We were just sure that, okay, we want to touch few lives. And if we've managed to do that, I feel like, you know, it's a success. And I think we have managed to do that.
Yeah, you have managed to do that, surely. But this film has created chaos. Surely, you and I both know. And that chaos is a good chaos, I would say, because it brought out the reality of a lot of people that people would have been influenced by otherwise.
Yes.
So they have the power to influence, and when they choose these words, does it also come with a little bit of hurt and a little bit of annoyance?
I think it's disappointment more than anything else, because I don't know these people, so they can't hurt me. But you kind of you have a sense of disappointment because, you know, look, you can like a film, you can dislike a film, critique a film, criticize it, love it. On this film, I've seen extremes of both, right? I've seen people that have gone like crazy, and the love it's gotten, because especially because we came from TIFF. And we showed the film to a large audience over there and the critics over there, and there the film was lapped up. Over here as well, there are many that have loved the film, especially the audiences. The ones that have gone in to watch it have loved it, a larger percentage. And there are few that haven't, and that's okay. But the moment you shame a film, that's the problem. I'm not going to take any shame, because there's nothing incorrect with what we are trying to say in the film. We are celebrating sexuality, desire, what a woman wants, what she doesn't want, the fact that a woman is apologetic her entire life. You might not think that my problems are real, because that has always been the narrative. कि औरतों की प्रॉब्लम रियल होती ही नहीं है. Generation through generation we've tried to change that idea, but my problems are real because my entire life I've been told that a man will make me feel complete. A lot of my self-worth is attached to having a partner, and that's exactly what my character in the film is also seeking. So yes, she's never had an orgasm, but she is actually seeking love because she's waiting for that man who will make her feel complete because she feels she's incomplete. Until she realizes that she really doesn't need a man to do that. She needs a companion for companionship to share her life with, and that person is not responsible for her happiness. She is responsible. So why is that wrong? That is empowering.
True.
And it is wrong, and people are uncomfortable by it because it's a woman's story. You and I just spoke about it, where you said something so beautiful that we had a film, Oh My God 2, which speaks about sex education. Honestly, it's one of my most favorite films. I have enjoyed the film thoroughly. So congratulations to the makers. In that film also, that young adult is masturbating. But over there people were like, oh yes, this needs to be spoken about because there's so much shame that we put on teenagers that are caught in such acts. And in general, our entire young adult population is unaware because sex education is so poor in our country. Accepted. I'm with you in that fight.
Yes.
But when you show a woman do the same thing, why has it suddenly become against our culture? Why has it suddenly become, all the disappointing words that were put? There is no physicality that is shown. It's a thought. You're so against the thought. And that upset me. This is exactly what patriarchy is, right? Because you don't think for society, a woman's problems have never been real. And understand, I know you already understand, but I hope the viewers also understand that patriarchy is not a gender-related thing. There are women also that are saying this, कि मेरे लिए मेरी happiness सिर्फ वो नहीं है, fair. कोई बात नहीं, शायद आपके लिए वो इम्पोर्टेंट ना हो, पर हैं औरतें जिनके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है और शायद आपको पता ही नहीं इसमें हैप्पीनेस होनी चाहिए. That it is an empowering thing because this is a physiological thing that your body does, and men and women are supposed to feel it equally. So if there's already an inequality in the conversation, isn't this a problem that needs to be spoken about then?
True. Like, I loved how Ekta, Riya came out and spoke. You all supported, and you all also spoke about your issues, and you all spoke about how the shaming was wrong. But somewhere did you expect women, especially, not let alone men, because they are a different breed altogether. But did you expect women to come out and support from within the industry as well? And was it a little disappointing not getting that from outside?
No. Honestly, I didn't have that expectation. Not really. Because this is our fight, and ultimately this is a conversation for a larger good. So I don't expect anybody to come take a stand for us, because honestly we're not trying to do that. All we are trying to say is that don't shame our film. This film is not what you think it is. You've not even seen the film. You're shaming the film because it speaks about women's sexuality. Tell me that the story is bad or bad performances. Critique the film, criticize it, don't shame it. That is our only point. You're shaming a film that does not need to be shamed.
Yeah, and I loved what you said. Why? Because my point was, when I watched the film and I heard someone critique, mine was that this film is not here to prove a point. That is what makes it different. When you make a film to prove a point, then your intentions are already wrong with the film. But this film does not come with that. You have done such films before, be it Shumanga Savdan and other
Last
films, Last Stories, Toilet. It's a lot of things that have dealt with issues that once were considered taboo. Do you feel like you were always somewhere boxed in that kind of films? But today, when you try to break that box by taking the forefront within that box but doing still something different, people had a problem because a woman was taking the charge this time.
I think so, as I said even earlier, that a film with a similar message came out a month before us. The reaction to that was completely different, and the reaction to our film has been, and by the same people that didn't like it, is what I'm saying. So what I do in a point like this is that I take courage from all the people that have loved the film, because honestly my DMs are full with girls messaging me and telling me, oh my God, we found representation. Oh my God, Kanika Kapoor's story is my story. And look, the orgasm is a metaphor in the film.
Yeah.
You know, it is not just about, it's one of the themes. There's so many different themes, okay? The film is about not taking shame in life. You know, Kanika Kapoor, my character, was shamed because her mother was single. She was shamed because her mother had boyfriends or partners, so she had those complexes. She was shamed because, you know, she could not, that she was thandi in bed. You know, there's a line like in her school days that boy says isse kuch nahi hota. You know, she was shamed because of that. She's already feeling shame because, you know, she can't have an orgasm. So she's like, okay, maybe that, and I can't perform. Maybe that's why, like, you know, I can't find the man of my dreams or a man who will respect me and love me. She's just shamed because of the way she dresses, looks, just everything, right? And this is what we, not just women, anybody who's marginalized goes through this experience. So you can be somebody who identifies with any gender, or you can be somebody who is on a slightly weaker wicket in life. You know, there will be a lot of prejudice that will come your way. And this film tells you to, and this is not that, oh, hum jaake revolution karenge. This is basically about finding that joy within yourself. And we all have had that coming of age. I've also had it, where a lot of my self-worth, a lot of my self-love, what I believed I was, what my value was dependent on somebody else.
Yeah.
But I went through my own life experiences, and because I have a flourishing career, I realized that nobody else can put a value to what I deserve. But if that happens to people at different stages. And it is it is Kanika Kapoor, it is her coming of age in the film. That's literally what the film is about.
Yeah, and it actually is, if you look at it objectively, it's about getting rid of that codependency on a partner.
Yes.
The film, throughout the run, it talks about that.
Yes.
There's subtly, sometimes it's out there, but it is what it's all about. But people don't. We are okay when films objectify women. That we are okay with. There are films that have crossed hundreds of crores. But now, when a woman takes charge and tells this story, then we have...
see, that's the hypocrisy of it all, right? That we have, as you said, objectified women through generations, right? We have... You've seen them being physically and emotionally assaulted in films. And yet, even in those films, the woman had to deal with all the shame. You know, we have seen them called names, and, you know, their body parts have been called like fruits and vegetables and I don't know what not. And we've been accepting of that because we take it with a pinch of salt, you know, because, you know, maza aaye. Lekin jaise hi aap dekhte ho ki the moment the charge comes in a woman's hand, it makes you uncomfortable, and it will. Look, we were prepared for this. I knew this was going to happen. It's just that because TIFF, like in Toronto, we had such a phenomenal journey, and this has also been a great learning for me, that, you know, audiences of every kind. In the same day, I might have like two people tell me, ये क्या बनाया है, क्या करने की कोशिश कर रही है, हमारा culture नहीं है, हमारी बेटियों को ये मत करो, वो मत करो, बिगाड़ो मत. But I might have like 8 people tell me, what a film.
Yeah.
You know, I feel, you know, I know I'm responsible for my own happiness and joy. So,
let me tell you, like, as a person who has championed you always, I would say it fills me with pride to see when these conversations happen, because now you have become a face of a change.
yeah.
Voluntarily, involuntarily, subconsciously, it has happened. You have become the face of it. There are conversations happening, there are discussions happening, and that fills me with pride, and as an audience member also, and also someone who has loved your work. And I feel that feeling is mutual for every fan out there that is out
Thank
there
you so much.
who is supporting you. And somewhere, do you feel that if this same issue was told through a male lens, would have been much more accepted?
100%. Are Shubh Mangal Savdhan? Shubh Mangal Savdhan speaks about sexual disorder.
Yeah.
Okay, but because it was a boy's problem, everybody accepted it.
Yeah.
If in the same setting it was the girl's problem, and if supposing my male co-star, who is so gracious and beautiful, he also stands for like the voice of change, would not have been a part of the film. Agar Shubh Mangal Savdhan mein meri ek ladki ka character akeli hota, people would not have accepted it.
But
You know?
I love that you have brought this film. I love
Thank
that there are conversations. I have used this word a lot during this whole conversation, the word conversation. But I think that is what the film has done, and I love it. And
Thank you.
I love what you are doing.
Thank
You have always been a favorite and you will always be.
Thank you so
And
much.
after the call last night, I feel a little personal connection as
That
well.
was so
But
sweet, you
I have
guys.
to say, you are doing amazingly. Keep going on the
Thank
path
you.
that you are doing, because it's gonna change a lot and it's gonna create a lot of chaos
Thank you.
in the future, but a good chaos. that
Chaos
we all
brings
need.
about change. What was
Yeah.
your line? It was beautiful.
बदलाव
बदलाव तहलका
तहलका
लाता है. That was beautiful and that's so true.
And actually, but thank you so much
Thank
for
you
this
so
conversation.
much.
Thank you for making my
Thank you.
manifestation come
Oh,
true.
no, stop it.
Can't
I'm
wait
getting
to have
shy.
a much lengthier conversation with you next time.
Fingers
Sometimes
crossed.
off the camera as well.
Yes.
Because there are lots we can discuss off the camera. But thank you so much.
Thank
Wishing you lots of love.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Bhumi Pednekar and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble.